Two new Fox polls coming out late last night that got our attention. 81% of you disapprove of the job that Congress is doing. You see the first line there? That's today. That's actually an improvement from the record high of 83% 2 years ago, so they're moving up. Check this out. Only 8% of Americans feel the people are in charge of the government. 88% believe the government is in charge of the people. That's revealing. Juan Williams, Fox News political analyst, Rich Lowry, editor of the National Review, and also a Fox News contributor. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. These are the kind of numbers that really give you a look as to how people are feeling. I think that second number is stunning, Rich. Now, why such an erosion? 88% believe the government is in charge of them. What's up?
It's a fascinating question and an eye-popping result that holds across all parties and all ideological groups. Democrats, independents, Republicans all feel this way, and it just speaks, Bill, to how remote and unresponsive people think the government is. Apparently, even people who favor a bigger government and more government activism feel this way.
Juan, what do you make of that? How would you explain that?
Well, I don't think it really requires a whole lot of explanation because it's so intuitive. I think most Americans know that we live in a society in general that feels much larger than us. If you think about Wall Street, the media, all the rest, people feel like, they don't have any power. And when it comes to the government is just, I think it's the biggest part of our economy right now is a single sector. You look at what's going on in Washington, people feel like, we have to make sense at home of things and make it work for our families. Those guys, they just go on their own way. But
you know what that is, Juan? I mean, that's a direct reflection of how big people think the government's gotten.
Well, I think in part, but I think it's also that the government doesn't reflect their needs and their desires, Bill. I think when you ask about simple things like getting the job done, are they in fact meeting my needs, helping me, my family, my children, my community? I think people wonder if this is about putting money in the pockets of the politicians or egos and power trips.
Rich, do you agree with that?
Egos and power trips. Who would associate that with Washington or with government? I don't know what Juan is talking about. This is crazy talk. No, I think that's right. And also, Bill, not to get into the weeds here, but the way government works now, Congress doesn't pass laws so much anymore as it passes kind of broad authority for the executive agencies to make it up as they go along. We've seen a lot of that in healthcare, and it increases the ability of the executive branch to give insiders and powerful interests special deals. And everyone sees that, and it drives everyone crazy, and it drives this distrust of government, which, Juan, I think is also right, which is part of a distrust of all institutions in American life. Really.
Very revealing number. Okay, the disapproval number for the president's at 49%. That's actually up 5 points from about a month ago, but apparently the rise was all on the backs of Democrats who are giving him higher numbers now. Go back to the disapproval number of Congress at 81%, if you could, guys. Because in that breakdown, Tea Partiers disapproved 71%, Republicans 77%, Democrats 82%, Independents 88%. That's across the board, Juan.
Yeah, it's at a historic level in terms of the depth of the absolute disapproval, Bill. And if you break it down, I mean, for Republicans inside there, they're also at a high point in terms of disapproval. Democrats are close to it. So compared to the president looks like he's glowing compared to the American attitude towards Congress. But it's a mess right now on Capitol Hill, and I think you're seeing that. But believe me, these numbers persist. It's not just that they are attached to the shutdown. These numbers have been true for the last few years.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying here, Rich, is that this is an equal opportunity offender here. Whether you're on the left or on the right, you're not happy.
Yeah, everyone associates Congress with partisan squabbling and with ineffectiveness, for understandable reasons. The shutdown isn't responsible for a lot of this discontent, but it seems to have augmented it a little bit, and it's probably going to get worse.
Rich, thank you. Let's hope not. Juan, thanks to you. Gentlemen, have a good Friday, okay? We'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.